Welcome everyone to Let's Talk Real Life with Miss Nada Manning. We're gonna keep our intro short today on Awesome Radio, WECU 1570 AM and 107.5 FM, because we got a powerful show today. Oh, I am bubbling over to get involved in this show, but I'm ready to learn some things. I'm ready to have a great conversation with you guys on social media, GPAT23, Facebook, and or YouTube. And that's the same for Awesome Radio, YouTube, and Awesome Radio Facebook. All right, well, without further delay, I'm ready to get started. And here is the teacher of today, Miss Nada Manning.
Hello. I am going to specifically focus on mothers. I know it's past Mother's Day. I realize that. So we're between Moms and Dad's Day. So right now we are going to talk about living single as moms. And the question is, why are so many? Why are there so many of us that's living single? What seems to be, I don't know if I want to say it's a problem. Maybe it's a concern. Maybe it's I guess concern is a good enough word right now. Why are so many of us living single? As I talk about moms, mom myself, and as many of you know, I have been single a long time, and it has had its challenges, and so much so that if you're single long enough, you will learn how to manage, how to survive the singleness, the challenges of being single. Okay, and there are many, and there are some good times. The challenges are to make us grow. I mean, I think that if we didn't have any challenges, we wouldn't be as strong as some of us are. Challenges can make us or break us. It depends on what the challenge is. We learn from those challenges because as long as we live, we're going to have challenges, whether we are married or single. That's life. Let's talk real life. How things can be so overwhelming for some of us. And some things can be right joyful. So it's kind of like a mixture. But when we're single, seem like, now it don't have to be, but seem like it just gets out of hand sometimes. Because why? The single person, mom in particular, we are moms. We have children. So that add on to the fact that as we are single, we not only have to deal with our own personal growth, but we have children that we have to be responsible for. And it makes it that much more challenging. Some of us have not done well with that. And I say that because, again, when I first started the conversation, our mothers, we're talking about mother wounds. When I first saw that topic or thought of that topic, I said, mother wounds.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think of it as a negative, and then again I did. So it was a toss and turn. Mother wounds. Not mother's wound with a plural, like a apostrophe S, like it's her, but it's mother wounds. Mother wounds, meaning there are many times when our moms, our children's grandmother, have gone through some changes herself. And as she went through her changes, many times we don't always sometimes we'll reap the benefits of it, and sometimes we reap the repercussion of it. So it makes it kind of difficult as a child of a mother who has had challenges herself, challenges such as not being able to make ends meet. Times were tougher then than they are now. Times were tougher with our mothers than that the times are for our children with us, if that makes sense. So as we grow from that generation of mothers who were more nourishing, I believe that with all my heart. They were more nourishing, uh, more caring in their own way. Not that the mothers are not caring today, because many of us are caring. Even the next generation over me, under me, whichever way it's going, the younger generation under me. Not saying that they are not caring moms. Again, it goes back to how their mother did with them. Not always, but in many cases, is how their mother did with them. If you have a mom that did not um, care enough for you as a child, she didn't care enough in that she had other priorities. Her priorities didn't always include you as a child. Why is she like that? That could be because that's all she know. That's the way she was brought up, and she wasn't taught any different. We as survivors of our moms should keep that in mind if we are in the right environment. And that's critical. The right environment as an adult, the right environment as a child growing up in school, for example, or in your neighborhood, your family, in the right environment. Maybe mom was missing. Maybe mom decided that her best avenue was not to raise her children. So you have an absent mom, mother wounds. So when you have a mom that have sometimes deliberately neglected their child, and sometimes they didn't have a choice but to not take the responsibility for whatever reason, that affects the child. So when that child grows up to be a mother, what kind of guidance does she have to raise her own children? She had to be taught. All of us need to be taught. The question is, what kind of teaching is there? How beneficial will that teaching be? We are a product of our environment. Word has it, and I believe it. We are a product of our environment. And if our environment does not warrant a good, productive, successful lifestyle, then chances of that child growing up to be aggressive in his or her life is slim to none, because there was no example there. Then on the flip side of that, we have some children that grow up to say their mother didn't do enough. This wasn't enough. She did all she could, but it wasn't enough. In that child's mind, it wasn't enough. And maybe in anybody else that's looking on might say that just wasn't enough for that little boy or that little girl or those children. Mom, how hard did you try? Did you really, really try hard? Sometimes you did. And sometimes we can look back and say, maybe I could have done such and such a little bit differently. Why is it, do you think, that as grandparents now, we are grandparents now, we've grown up, we've had our children, now they're having children. There are many grandparents, and this is mother wounds. There are many grandparents who have that mindset that they did not do like they should have done. So now they have their grandchildren to hopefully and prayerfully make the difference, make it up with the grands. How does mother feel about that? The mother of those grandchildren, that grandmom's daughter. How does she feel about that? Many times they'll go back and say, well, mom, you didn't do that with us. You didn't give us that. You didn't treat us like so and so, whatever. So grandmom is now between a rock and a hard place. She can say, in honest, and I suggest to be honest, she could say, I wasn't afforded the opportunity to do for you like I can do for these grandbabies. Times were different then. So, how that parent, that mother, responds to grandmom's answer is really up to her, up to mom. Because she can either let that hinder her from doing better herself, or she can accept what was said, or not. I mean, it's up to the mother. Again, the children are still there. The children are waiting for that whatever it is that mom's supposed to be doing, while mom is trying to figure it out. It's not easy. As a single mom, it is not easy. And sometimes, because we're talking about living single, sometimes when dad is in the picture, it's still not easy. It makes a difference, yes. But there are many households that have both parents in there, and it's still not easy. Because they both may have come from a mom that was some kind of way. Just because mom's mom wasn't up to par, dad's mom might not have been up to par either. It goes both ways. So there you have two parents with mothers with mother wounds because they weren't. For example, let's say you have a little boy and a little girl. They went to school together. They went to elementary school down wherever, and they kind of grew up together and they were in the same environment. They know where each other came from. And as they grow up into high school, maybe they went to college together or not, or got jobs and what have you, but they were knowing each other from little on up. So they knew what that background was. One child did well with the same background now. One child did okay, and the other one did not do okay. Meaning that one that did not do okay, they're two different people. You cannot expect to get the same results from both people, even though they were in the same environment. Why? Because they are two different people. Just because she accepted things the way they were in their household, don't mean he accepted things the way it was in his household. So you cannot compare. Well, you were brought up just like I was. Yes, that's true. But what are we going to do about it? Are we going to grow, produce, be successful in spite of our background? I think we should. So a sample like that, they can encourage each other. And it can happen. It can happen depending on their environment. Again, when they become teenagers, they might end up going to, I don't know, they graduated together, but they may end up going to two separate jobs and they may separate for a while. Okay, well now. Now they finally separated. They're one in one city, or they might be in the same state, but they're a couple of 2-3 hours apart. So they're not around one another every day anymore. The environment that they're in is going to change them. Yes.
All right. I like your point, and I wanted to make sure you made your point and got it out there. So you reprimand me again. Say, okay, I'm going to broaden it just a little bit. I'm not opposed to anything that you're saying. You're doing great because you're looking at the differences. I'm going to take this back, though. We all are suffering from women hurt, mom hurt. I'm not going to get all theological on you. I'm just going to mention the same subject I normally mention.
Well, let me say this. Hold
Go
on.
ahead.
The mom hurt And this is real life. Our mothers is the first female that we come in contact with
Mm-hmm.
from birth.
Yeah.
So, however way that mama is when you came and nourishing you, that's what you're used to. So go ahead. I just want to make that point. She's
Okay.
our she's our first love.
Now our first mother is Eve,
I,
and we gotta hit it. Here, wait. I'm gonna tie these real close together. It's gonna be this narrow between the beginning of time and today. God said you can have food, fruit, or whatever nourishment from all of these trees out here, except that one right there.
okay.
She had to get it. She was not satisfied. She had to get it. Or her curiosity was overwhelmed, tricked. Okay, call it what you want.
Okay.
No blame here. I'm just talking about what happened. Now, in the 1940s, fast forward with heading to 2026, a lot of the men went to war in World War II. A lot of ladies had to go out and hit the job market to take their place. Fast forward to the 1970s, the assertive movement started. Women wanted to go out there and get their own. And they started taking roles outside of the house. They started taking their attention from them old greasy, grimy men, I guess, that wanted them to stay home, and they wanted to go and be a part of society. They wanted to go and attain education. They wanted to get out and vote. Okay, duh. See, I'm mentioning pros and cons. They wanted to be a part of society. The 1970s and another part of the Industrial Revolution hit. Then women were out there doing their thing. My mom was out there doing her thing. Latchkey kids. Get in that house and get in that house and stay there. Don't dare come out. Don't open the door for nobody.
Mm-hmm.
That time frame came. Mom's working, dad doing whatever he's doing. So now I'm saying you guys got what you want. Now you don't want what you got. The man said, God said, don't eat of that tree. Oh, now we added a tree. You done fed it to me. You know how I said it. You gave it, Eve gave it, cook Adam some spiced apples and put sugar in it and gave him some biscuits. And then he go eating it. Now he don't want to be accountable when God said, what did y'all do? So now here you are naked. So now we gotta wear clothes. I gotta I gotta get you fig leaves now. It still holds true today. You gotta get the best clothing, you gotta get this, you gotta be nurtured. But now you are out leading the household now. Women, here we go to the day. Women want education. They are the highest Black women are probably still the highest achievers in education. Now you have a disparity of women who don't want uneducated men. They don't want to live in that conflict. They don't want to live in a situation where they got to be the breadwinners and take care of a man. But you have surpassed us as moneymakers, breadwinners. So I'm not trying to make women go and get a man that they feel is lesser value. They want a high value man. So you got that issue. Now you also have a higher mortality rate among Black men. So most of us, a lot of us die quicker than you die. So there's a shortage of men. And the almost the last thing I'm going to say is we talked about education, then we talked about the mortality rate. There's one more, but I'm saying you got everything you want. Now being single is about economical, social, economical reasons as to why. Oh, I forgot prison. That's the last one there. A lot of us have gone to prison. A lot of young people went to prison, done 20 years, they vitality gone. Coming out at 40, 45. But those are reasons why there are single moms. Now, I noticed you were talking about the struggle. I'm saying, I'm not saying women shouldn't have wanted to vote or shouldn't want to be homemakers. I think being a homemaker is harder than having an 8 hour a day job. I stayed home for about a year. I was had a blood clot in which of my kidney, and I couldn't work. So it's hard trying to get ready for somebody to come home, trying to fix dinner, trying to wash clothes, trying to get some stuff ready for the kid, or go pay the light bill and things of that nature while you are the one that's home. So that's tough right there. So I can't imagine why you women are working at home and working an 8 hour day job. Then those jobs and responsibilities between you and a man, much less you by yourself and a child. I don't know how you're doing it, but there's some accountability across the board that led us to this point. Either you're going to have education, or you're going to leave a man back in college where you're just going to get your 4 year degree and come out with a man, or you're going to stay in and get your master's and just sleep around. And then you come out of college, now you don't have nobody on your level and your thinking, and you're not matching up with anybody because you're liberated, you're wise, you're woke. So I didn't say all that to blame women for it, but I said all that to say you have some accountability because your mom wanted to get out there in that field and work. And my mom did hard. That's why she went home. That's why you're saying y'all women had it harder. Your mamas had it harder than you did because they wanted it that way. So now the single men, I don't know. Maybe you guys didn't raise us well or not. I don't know. I didn't get into that part of how you raised us. Women don't do a lot of teaching. They just do a lot of stop. What you want to eat? They do a lot of nurturing. They don't do a lot of teaching. They send them to a coach. They make sure to get taught. A lot of women do, send them to the uncle. So there's the responsibility for the decisions that women made that changed this earth. And our grandmother Eve, she started it. She should have just settled down. No, I'm not eating of that tree. Adam, we not eating no apples tonight, honey. We got pears, we got cantaloupe, we got tomatoes. That's a fruit. We got everything, grapes. We're not eating off of that tree of life. We are just fine. Walking around naked, didn't know they were naked. We don't need anything else. We satisfied with what we got. No, we're gonna be poor together.
Touche, sir.
I told you I was gonna bring that joke in.
Maybe I should also have read what mother wounds meant. Let me do that now.
Yeah,
Now that we are 25 minutes in the show.
yeah,
Mother wounds is a term people use for lasting emotional patterns that can come from a painful, inconsistent, neglectful, controlling, critical, emotionally immature, absent, or overwhelmed relationship with a mother figure. I said that, but I didn't say it in those words.
yeah, yeah.
It is not a clinical diagnosis, but it can be a useful framework for understanding certain struggles that single women have.
Yeah.
Single moms, not women. Single moms have.
That
Okay.
pressure, that pressure. Let's hold it right there. That pressure of being a single mom. I seen it. My mom fighting with my daddy, beating the heck out of him, trying to get his check to make sure she paid the bills because she was doing the leadership and stuff. That pressure. is huge on women folk. And I'm not saying y'all ain't built for it, but you are. But I know that a lot of mental health issues and depression and anxiety came behind that. How could my mama teach me right when she going crazy in her own mind?
One
Insecurity.
person can only take so much.
Yes.
I don't care how they're built. I don't care how they were raised. I don't care whether they're tall, skinny, huge, whatever it is. One person can only. Everybody have a limit of what they can do and what they can take and how they handle it. Everybody, and it makes it really, really tough. Like you're saying, it really is tough. And today's time, in today's time, it is. It's no comparison to what it was.
How can you say you're solving a problem when the women are leaving the men? It's so you're just kicking the can down the road, because if it don't bear, if it don't, the results of you leaving your man, your husband, because of whatever, that could show up in your next relationship, and it's also going to show up in your child's relationship. So,
Product of the environment. Yeah,
not saying you're supposed to stay.
right.
I think we got too many options when it comes to a relationship, a marriage, or whatever. And I think one of the option of leaving should never look better, unless you're being abused or something. Should never look better than staying.
Yeah,
But some people got to go, and I understand that.
yeah,
Folks sleeping around, you forgive them, and you forgive them again. The next thing you know, you're at risk for sexual transmitted diseases, or being, he hit you one time. Now you wait a minute, is this gonna happen again? So, and even if you're not being a good wife, I don't think you deserve to get beat up. You can stop provoking them. That's what you can do. Let me throw that in there. If you are
yeah, yeah,
provoke the fool, you're gonna get a fool's prize.
yeah. And speaking of that, when we're talking about mother wounds, this how it's affecting our children.
Yes.
Those children are watching and they're listening,
Oh my
and
God.
and it affects them. It is unbelievable how they are affected. That's why it's so much more. It can be very emotional. It can be heartbreaking for the mom to have to handle all of that, whatever it is that's going on. And it, the sad part about it is when we grow older and become grandmothers and we see history repeating itself.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness. You talking about reflections, looking back. But what the survivor might want to consider doing is getting with that mother. It don't have to be her daughter. It could be her niece. It could be her neighbor, a young
Mm-hmm.
mother. Is not just let that go. If you're concerned enough, my encouraging words would be for that survivor to use her experience to help that young mother, because we're talking about mother wounds here. That young mother probably had some type of something going on with her mama, and she's living that same pattern with her children because that's all she knows. But you have someone that has survived it. That survivor should step up and try to help that young mom, because obviously her mother is not either not around or not doing. They don't have a good relationship. It's just a chain where one links. Each chain just links to the other. So my I guess I'm saying my question or my comment is, in a situation like that, somewhere that chain need to be broken or relinked How about that? Because the same behavior keeps repeating itself. Moms, those mothers out there who are listening to us, it is very, very important that if you do not have, if you are, do I want to say a victim? Okay, I'll use that word. Kind of gross, but a victim of a mother's wound, meaning that's WOUND, WOUND. Yes, a mother's wound and hurt. Then I strongly encourage you to prevent that behavior from going to your children. I strongly encourage you to get with someone that you know or believe that will help you not have that same pattern with your children.
Can I
Because
say? Go ahead.
because what you carry to your children, they're going to carry to their children, and it goes on and on and on. So we must, those of us who have passed all of that, okay, we have passed all of that now, but we're still here to make a difference with these mother wounds.
Now, uh, we have passed it, but our character have been so traumatically engraved with our traumas that it literally comes out of our mouth. It literally comes out of our walk,
Our behavior.
our behavior
Mm-hmm.
that has been embedded in our minds and our souls. So I'm going to say something very negative here, and that is this. I don't think you can technically change someone that is a young adult. I think that young adult is dealt with a hand and they play certain cards throughout the rest of their life. But probably after 21, and some say after 8 years old, when you're really socialized and you really know how to look at people and choose role models or models that you like their role, whether they're good or bad. Some say we're socialized by 5 years old. By as many times as your parents say no, 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 that right there alone can psychologically embed in your mind that life is limited. You'll never be a visionary. You'll never feel that you are so gifted and passionate that you can achieve the unbelievable. Because somebody has said we don't have and know so many times before you were 5 years old. No and stop. So the go ahead.
So you're saying that there are no, have not, and in some cases you're absolutely right. They have not heard they heard no so much. Then where is the yes?
Uh-huh.
Where is the yes? You can do
Yes.
this.
What the
No,
Bible says, we should have faith, even if it's small as a mustard seed, where you don't get a chance to exercise any kind of faith. Not any kind of faith, but that's the beginning of child believing and growing because they're little people looking at you and how you raise them. It begins really early. And now I can look at a mom and when the child cries, do she give them milk? Do she hug them? Their value system has been established. And so that right there, do you let the child cry? Do you yell at them? Do you that right there to me is a little replica of what your life could be with your husband. We're talking about single moms. Yeah, your husband and you as a mom and how you treat your child. Do you sit there and let them cry? Do you nurture them? So you're passing on the same value system that you got from your mom. And I don't see very much changing when you get a young adult. I see rearrangements. I see growth. I see wisdom coming in, taking you to another level. But that person you are, that that your mom programmed you, and the things that you learned from your mom, they're still there. You just mitigate them.
we don't forget. We just make a choice of whether we're going to use it or not.
Like it. I like it. That statement.
Right. We no, we don't forget. I mean, some stuff you don't want to forget, and some stuff we do want to forget,
Mm-hmm.
but it's there. So we have to make a choice of how we're going to use whatever happened. We
It's
have to
in.
choose. Huh?
Before I forget to say it, excuse me for cutting you off. It's in your DNA. What your DNA is programmed physically. Emotional traumas in your life change your DNA structure to the point that what happens to you and what you eat can be passed on and is passed on to your child through the bloodline. So a lot of us are living out traumas from our great grandparents and parents and things that happen to them. We're susceptible to through our bloodline. What do you think the doctor asks for in medical history? Every time something go wrong, if we're eating a bunch of sugar in our diets, we pass that on to our kids.
How about how some of us respond to receiving care?
Yeah.
Some of us don't want any help. I'm fine. I can do this. I don't need to go to the doctor. Some of that behavior comes from how they were raised.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said earlier, they choose, they make we not they, we we make choices even when it comes to health. I don't want to go to the doctor, and some of us go to the doctor at the blink of an eye. If a toenail hurt, we going to the doctor. And then there's some of us that's just the opposite. Our arm could be broke, but we're gonna make it heal. I don't need to go to the doctor. It's hurting, but I can put it in a sling. I'm good. A lot of that mentality comes from mother wounds. Mom was not back in the day. I have to keep going back there. We didn't have any doctors in hospitals. We had midwives. The babies were born in the house. I don't know if I don't ask me if I was born in the house because I don't remember. I don't know what my mom. I don't remember right now.
Yes, you were born in the house.
You think so?
And
Well,
if you weren't born in the house, if you
I
went
think
to
I
the
was.
hospital, they put black women down in the basement, and there were about 10 or 15 or numerous amount of patients down there,
Yeah.
and they
I
got very skimpy care down in the basement of hospitals.
I don't think I was born in the hospital. I really. I'm not. If I had to guess, I would say no. I was born in a house, and I say that because of the time period back in the 50s. Um, there were midwives then, and back in the 40s and on down, 30s and 20s, they were midwives then. I don't. I have to say in the 60s though, because I have two siblings that were born in the 60s, and I know for a fact they were born in a hospital because I was there. So I don't. I'm not too sure about myself.
'Cause I
Um,
was born by the river.
and there were bands and things tied around the belly. You know, I just remember my grandmama doing that.
In a
So
little
the
tent.
umbilical cord and all that stuff. So my point is, I was talking about care. There, we some of us have difficulty receiving and trusting. That's another thing. Trusting people to take care of us. And that goes right on up to today, 2026. There are some of us that have a problem, a serious problem, trusting somebody to take care of us. And that could stem from, most likely, it come from history. Whatever happened in the past, something happened somewhere along the line. I don't know. I cannot say that people are born not trusting folks. I don't think that's the case. I think that's a learned behavior. I'm almost sure it
Good
is.
question. Good question.
Yeah, it's a learned behavior, and some of us carry it to the extreme. And I keep saying us because I don't want anybody to think I'm talking about them. I say us because I'm part of this whole population. So it becomes, yes.
I think anxiety can get twisted up with trust, um, because of your, you're trying to accomplish something with someone, and your anxiety takes over, your insecurity takes over, then that's going to seem, and I'm going to ask you, what's going on? You don't trust me or something? Or you too nervous to do this? So that's another way that trust can be an issue rather than something that somebody broke a contract with you. Anxiety just bleeds over everything and makes people look,
And it's up to that individual that's involved, or plural individuals, to show that group or that person or that couple that they can be trusted. Because if someone come to you, again, this is like you said, it's anxiety, and we're talking about mother wounds, and perhaps that environment that the child grew up in, nobody was trusted. Everywhere you turn, they did something wrong. This one is go backwards. It's all over the place. So it's like you live in your life. I don't trust anybody. There are people that's like that, and from little on up, from little
very,
elementary, huh?
very easily transferred. Very easily transferred. You start to work with somebody, and you already know the terrain. You know where you're going. You know they don't want to follow you. They got a million questions. They got this, and especially about new things, and it's really, really disheartening to work with someone who every new experience they have turns into a big, big challenge because they don't have the comfort zone, the faith, the patience, the courage.
So again, does it not go back to the individual who is trying to gain their trust, to make the extra effort to invest in that person so
Yes,
that they can learn to trust?
it
It
can go
depends,
back to them. Yeah,
huh?
yeah, it could. You share it if you want to benefit from that relationship, whatever it is. You have to be down with that person. You have to wait. You have to create an environment, and sometimes you got to prove something to somebody, and you have to prove to them that they can actually do it.
Right.
And my thing is, when you do that, you create an environment, and you customize something for somebody. Don't look for them to come back and thank you. Now they're gonna take that little reward and they're gone, and they might tell somebody, "I did that," when you know they didn't do nothing
Sometimes,
to do.
sometimes that, yeah, you're right. It happens, but not
they
all, not
they ain't
all the
do
time.
they ain't do nothing. You pushed them up, and they got in the window because they were standing on your shoulders. They,
Yeah.
that's how they got in there. But no, I don't chase those people. I don't even think about trying to get payback from people like that. I only give out what I can afford to give out, and do get taken advantage of from time to time. But I give out energy. I give out nourishment. I give out, you know, encouragement only that I can afford. And so when somebody doesn't put back, then I'll just kind of wean off.
And that's what you do when you find an individual like that that's really not showing any appreciation, is what it is.
Yeah, lack of
Uh,
gratitude at all.
right, and that kind of put a whole different spin on things.
Mm-hmm.
Um, this right here, and we are down to about what, 5 or 6 minutes. There are a lot of areas here. Again, this is mother wounds, but it can also apply to dads. Now, I would like very much to carry this over, um, right on into the next few weeks, right on up to the Father's Day time, uh,
Okay.
to talk about some of these other things like shame around needs, emotions, and or anger. Some people are afraid. Some people have fear of abandonment or rejection. Mother wounds. They've been rejected, like you were saying earlier, been saying no, 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 no. Everything is no. You can't do this. No, no. So that's a form of rejection in the sense that child will grow up believing that they cannot accomplish certain things or anything because they've never been told that they could. And it makes it somewhat of a challenge for them from mom because, again, this is mother wounds. Mother wounds.
I hope people can find a way to forgive their mom. I said
It's
hope.
important.
It's forgiveness. You gotta. I know you're a teacher and pastor. People talk a lot. It's for you, so you
Yes,
can move on.
that's
And the
right.
next person you gotta forgive is you gotta forgive yourself
Yes,
for all the craziness that you've done.
yes,
You don't even know you done because
yeah,
you were influenced by your mother who was hurt,
right,
or likely hurting, or overwhelmed.
right,
She asked for it, but you got it,
right.
one way or the other.
And the child is seeing all of that behavior.
And that you couldn't help from learn from your mom. So, you know, I just try to do the exact opposite. I listen to my mom and I'll find talk to her about ways she neglected me, and then I can tell her anything I want, and that's therapeutic. I can be like, Mom, you just left me.
Yeah,
I didn't know where you was at, or you left me in the car. I mean,
yeah,
I'm able to express stuff at my age. Anyways, I'm gonna let you carry on. But yeah, let's keep rolling with this.
yeah. This is, I think, is very meaningful subject as it pertains to today's environment. Um, this has been a very informative topic. Being a mom myself, but moms, those of you who are listening, I just want you to walk away with this in mind. When you say you have done or is doing the best you can do, make sure that you are. Make sure that you really are. And if you're not sure, then get with someone, get with an older mother that can talk to you about some things. I would say get with a mother with many children, but I don't think as many of them left. All those moms that had 10, 15 children, they're not around anymore. Today's time, we doing good to have two or one. Definitely not over 10. That's unimaginable today. But get with someone that can be an encouraging person to you so that you can be assured instead of you trying to do it all yourself or mimicking about the way your mother did you.
Mm.
Okay, which might not have been the best. You might not, you have some issues with it. And no, you're not going to be perfect, but you want to be better. How about that? Better, not Bitter. We don't want to be bitter because that's not going to help our children. So I would say to you, moms, um, to get with someone that can really help you through. Don't be ashamed. Don't be afraid because trust and believe that mother, either she went through it herself or she knows someone who has, because there is no perfect mom.
When you don't know the source of your pain and you don't recognize it, it's a lot of challenges. I want to talk about this on the next show. I am seeing the bitterness where it's just happening. It's like you just don't know where the source of your issues are coming from.
Right,
So you can't treat it. It's like a
right,
snake bite. They can't treat the snake bite if they don't have the anti-venom.
right,
They'll just give you some neutral or whatever, but it may or may not have it.
right,
They don't mean go chase the snake down after he bites you. Got to get that snake because I got to show the doctor. No, head on to the doctor, but you don't know where your traumas are coming from. But being an individual single woman does not mean that you're not beautiful. Does not mean that God doesn't love you. That doesn't mean I don't love you. I'll show you if I can, but just know you're the greatest thing that God has created and put on this earth. You're the most beautiful woman, especially the black woman. I'm not being racist either. You're the most beautiful thing on this earth. And it don't take long to find that out, looking at all the other races and how they dress and act. Stop it. So all you ladies out there, no, you got it. You got it, and just using it is, what we're talking about.
So, folks, this is the end of the show for this time. Yes, I think Coach and I agree that this mother wound topic can go on for at least 2 or 3 more sessions. Then we want to get into the fathers, which a
See
lot of
y'all. I said she was beautiful. I said y'all beautiful, and she didn't even say thank you. I know. I get it. I've been around for a minute. I know. There ain't enough apples on the trees and fruits out there. You gotta have that special one. I still love you though. It's okay. I still love
I
you.
apologize, sir.
No
Um,
apology needed.
I thought it was a generic comment you was making for all the women out.
No, no, that it was very specific to each one that heard it. No, there's no two of y'all alike. God mighty knows. They y'all got it, but y'all ain't got it the same way. Totally different.
Well, thank you, Vern. Thank you very much,
Yes.
sir. My apologies. I pray you accept it. It was
Hey,
it was an oversight. That was a
like to
compliment
say.
that just went right over my head. It just
Yep.
right on out of each ear. Anyway, thank you all for listening to us tonight, and we look forward to seeing and well, not seeing you, but hearing from you at some point about this topic. As you know, you can comment and let us know, and Coach and I share whatever it is that we hear, and we go from there. But do take away what we said. So at this time, we're going to end the show. It's been a pleasure as always as we talk about real life issues, real stuff. So, Lord, we thank you for this time once again. Continue to bless us to order our steps so that we can please you in our guiding and our teaching, our mothering, and the influences that we have, Lord. You know all about it. We give you the praise and honor in Jesus' name. Amen.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this has been another broadcast of Let's Talk Real Life with Miss Nada Manning, 107.5 FM on your dials. Please like, share, and subscribe on social media if you found us there. And it's the last time I'm going to say this tonight. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. If you haven't heard it today, you heard it on that show. Cash it in. All right.
Amen.
Godspeed. Y'all have a great rest of your day.